Ever since the dawn of video games, they've been used as tools of both entertainment and education. As kids, we could decimate wave after wave of aliens at home, and then go to school where different aliens would try to teach us how to type. And so it was only a matter of time before the world's most beloved plumber Mario got his teaching credential and tried to teach us all about something other than stepping on turtles. But if professional teachers can hardly make kids care about history, then what hope does Mario have? None, as it turns out. Let's get this over with, and let's complete Mario's Time Machine.
Here comes a new challenger! Yes! Danger!
They're getting bodied up in here. Let's go, slow-mo, baby. Oh no. Guys, today's video is once again brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. So happening right now is the Raid Shadow Legends special tournament that you can enter in upon signing up for the game when you click the link in the description box down below. And the cool thing is, this massive tournament is not only worldwide, but you can win awesome in-game prizes as well as physical goods sent directly to your house. Raid Shadow Legends features gigantic boss fights, cool PvP mechanics, and a bunch of different customization options when it comes to champions. Right now is one of the best times to get into the game because if you sign up using my code in the description box down below, you'll get 50,000 silver and one free epic champion attached to your account to help you get situated upon playing the game. So, if you want to join us today, click that link in the description box down below, and we'll see you guys on the battlefield. Thanks for watching and enjoy today's video. What's up, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of The Completionist, where we don't just beat the games, we complete them. Today, I'm gonna be playing Mario's Time Machine. Now, you may remember that I played the other educational Mario game, Mario's Missing, last year, and I felt deceived by it, tricked, bamboozled, etc., all that stuff. It was like when your high school teachers would trick you into having fun by turning a quiz into like a game of Jeopardy or whatever. Now, I've got nothing against learning about stuff, as long as I'm genuinely interested in what I'm learning about. And I've got nothing against the idea of a Mario game being educational, as long as it still feels like a Mario game. And Mario's Missing missed the mark on both of those counts. But Mario's Time Machine takes a look at history and sends Mario on a trip to the past. So maybe it could correct the other game's mistakes.
Wait! Yes, I'm you from the future, and yes, this is what most gaming YouTubers do when they do a sketch about time machines. Look, you cannot play this game. It is worse than Mario's Missing. Both games are bad. Don't play this game. Listen to me. Trust me. I give this game my completionist rating of... Whoa! Don't tell me that!
You could change the past. I'm sorry, Future Gerard, but we complete games, no matter what the cost. You know that. Now please, return to the future and let me do my job.
No, wait, you don't understand. I had to swim to get here. With that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of...
That was weird. I'm sure everything's gonna be just fine.
There are inexplicably 3 separate versions of Mario's Time Machine. One for MS-DOS, one for SNES, and one for NES. They are wildly different games with totally different engines, but it was the SNES version that initially tricked me as a child. Mario's Time Machine and Mario's Missing had my favorite hardworking Italian on their covers, and I rushed home with them, expecting classic Mario shenanigans. The NES version of Mario's Time Machine at least features some Mario-esque platforming, but the same cannot be said about the version I played. Mario's Time Machine for the SNES is even more stripped down and learning-based than Mario's Missing was, and that's really saying something. The game starts with Bowser stealing artifacts from throughout history, using a time machine he built called the Timemulator, because Bowser is apparently a scientific genius with the ability to build time machines. But Timulator is a pretty hilarious name, so I'll allow it. So he's placed these artifacts in the museum in his castle so he can look at them, I guess? I don't know. It's unclear if he's admitting guests to admire these displays or if they're just for Bowser and all his ungrateful children. Those Koopalings could use a little bit of culture in their lives. But even so, you can't mess with the flow of time, and those historically significant doodads belong in the past. So Mario hijacks the Timulator to return the objects and save the time stream as we know it. Because that's his job now, apparently? Seems like the kind of half-assed side quest that's better suited to Luigi, but I don't know, maybe he's too busy busting ghosts or something. To use the time machine, Mario literally has to surf through the time stream itself, collecting mushrooms and avoiding whirlpools. And yes, on a surfboard. Tennis, golf, and now surfing. There really isn't a sport that the dude doesn't excel at. But once Mario surfed his way into a time period with a corresponding artifact, he has to take a quiz. Based on conversations with the locals, Mario has to fill in the blanks on a paragraph about a historical figure from that time period, using multiple choice drop-down options. But if you get enough wrong, you can get booted back to the year 1993, which is a real bummer. And that's it. This game involves surfing and filling out historical Mad Libs, which are two distinctly un-Mario things to do. And I grew up in Southern California, so alternating between surfing and half-heartedly taking history quizzes was basically my entire high school experience. I'm also going to be treating to playing this game 3 times apparently, because there are 2 bad endings for you if you return the items in the wrong order or don't do it quick enough. And then one more, presumably more upbeat ending, providing you do it correctly. If you're thinking, man, that sounds like a waste of time, well, you're probably right. I'm starting to wish I had a Timulator of my own right about now. Mario's Time Machine fails at 2 things that an educational Mario game absolutely needs to do. It's not fun, and despite its best efforts, it's not educational either. If I'm gonna be bored, I at least want to learn. But I completed this game with the same pathetic amount of historical knowledge that I had going into it. Mario's Time Machine doesn't even know how to teach you how to play Mario's Time Machine. I spent my first 30 minutes or so just trying to figure out what it wanted from me. It's all relatively simple, but somehow still confusing as hell. I'm sure they assumed we'd read the manual, but if I felt like reading, I wouldn't have to play a Mario game to just learn about history. The first time I used the time machine and was suddenly transported to a surfboard, I was baffled. I didn't know where I was going, what my objective was, or whose surfboard Mario had stolen. There are no on-screen instructions of any kind, which is bizarre. It's not like surfboarding and time machines go hand in hand. It turns out that you're supposed to collect the mushrooms and avoid the whirlpools, which makes a tiny bit of sense given Mario's whole mushroom fetish, but still doesn't make any sense as a feature in this game. If the developers wanted to have a totally non-educational minigame pop up each time you use the time machine, then why not do what the NES version did and incorporate actual Mario-style platforming levels? Also, why the hell do the mushrooms keep disappearing when I'm so far away from collecting them? Just stay there until I get to you, damn! Those surfing sections were boring and irritating, and I didn't even get any sweet knowledge out of it. And you have to do them a lot every time you travel back in time, and even more if you mess up and fill in the blanks incorrectly, or surf into a vortex. You have to surf again and again. And if that isn't irritating enough, the music for these segments drove me insane. It's the worst case version of video game surfing music you can imagine. And eventually I started turning the sound down every time Mario hopped on that dumb surfboard. The music in the various time periods at least has some variation and feels themed to that specific time period's vibe. But that might literally be the only interesting thing about any of these segments. If you think filling in the blanks in paragraphs about historical figures sounds more like homework than a video game, you'd be right. When Mario visits these pivotal times in human history, there are no blocks to be busted or turtles to be stomped on. Just lots and lots of conversations to be had, since everyone throughout history seems more than happy to share some weird gossip with this little hairy weirdo that popped into their era and immediately started asking a bunch of random questions. But once Mario's done his reading, it's time for the exam. And if you didn't think that reading dry historical dialogue was fun, just wait until you're, well, answering multiple choice questions about that dialogue. And I know learning isn't always supposed to be fun, but I honestly retained almost none of the historical knowledge I gained playing this game. There are a lot of options for each blank space you fill out, but many of them can be figured out with common sense if you feel like skipping some of the preceding convos. Or you can just, I don't know, Google it. I know they didn't have smartphones in 1993, but this game is hilariously easy to cheat at now. It's almost irresponsible not to. And while I did do my best to not look up the answers, the game didn't do anything to help me retain that information like I would have if there had been some sort of fun gameplay element to the learning bits. Instead, it's just rote memorization. And as if it weren't bad enough, the game is apparently chock full of historical inaccuracies. Which means I'm not just wasting precious video game time learning about Aristotle, I'm wasting it learning lies about Aristotle. Hell, I can just make up some lies about Leonardo da Vinci. He looked like an old man just 15 years after he was born. He was 30 feet tall. His favorite food? Omelets. See? That was easy, and that first one is actually in the game. This game made me feel like a kid again, but in the worst way possible. Facts were being shoved down my throat while trying to convince me I was having fun. At least those typing games in elementary school let you know what the deal was right up front. But Mario is supposed to be my friend, not my teacher, not even that cool substitute who put on a movie while he took a nap. Even that guy didn't lie to me, you know? He was totally cool and upfront about how lazy he was. And while Mario has tricked me into playing plenty of sports games, this felt like a whole other level of deception. So I didn't learn and I didn't have fun. And to add insult to injury, I had to go through the game 2 more times after that. So I knew all the answers, which made this go by super quickly, but honestly, it felt like the game was taunting me. I would say that I was bored, but it was honestly worse than that. I was actively angry for a lot of it, and didn't even emerge from the experience with any cool history facts to impress my friends with at parties. This game made me angry, and I'm not proud of things I do when I'm angry.
What happened here? It's the game. It threw you into a blind rage and...
This short, haphazardly thrown together game has taken a heavy toll on me. Having played Mario is Missing, I knew better than to expect a masterpiece, or even to expect something that resembles a Mario game. But I didn't anticipate that it would send me into a blind rage that would ultimately result in Bradley's death. And there wasn't even a reward for my suffering. The bad endings feature Bowser escaping to paradise and sitting in a jungle, while the good ending has him escaping to paradise and then sitting in a jungle before getting crushed by a poorly drawn dinosaur foot. Ugh, lame. Mario has been responsible for many of my greatest gaming memories, and now he has become the architect of my undoing. I didn't learn anything about history during my playthrough of Mario's Time Machine, but I did learn a great deal about myself and what I'm capable of. When I completed Mario's Time Machine, there were 15 artifacts returned to the time periods that they belong in. Over 2,000 years of human history explored, without even a single bit of that information managing to be lodged in my brain. Countless mushrooms collected via a surfboard, because that's apparently just how time machines work nowadays. Around an hour of total playtime, even though it felt like 1,000 years. And now a lifetime of regret over what I did when this game made me Hulk out.
Wait, I can fix it. The old me left the time machine here. I can take it, go back in time, and prevent all this from happening, because that's how time travel works. Yeah, that'll for sure work. Let's do this.
Mario's missing the mark on both of those counts.
Yes, there's still time. I just have to warn myself.
So maybe
It could correct the other game's mistakes.
Wait! Yes, I'm you from the future, and yes, this is what most YouTube gaming YouTubers do when they do a sketch about time machines. Look, you cannot play this game. It is worse than Mario's Missing. Both games are bad. Don't play this game. Listen to me. Trust me. I give this game my completionist rating of—
Whoa! Don't tell me that! You could change the past. I'm sorry, future Gerard, but we complete games, no matter what the cost. You know that. Now please, return to the future and let me do my job.
No, wait, you don't understand. I had to swim to get here. With that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of— With that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of— donate it. I hate this.
Donate it.
That's all the time we have today, guys. So please, as always, let me know if you loved today's episode somewhere on the internet. You can head over to our Instagram for a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at me grossing out about this, because let me tell you, this whole process was gross. Thank you for watching. If you like the show, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on all the videos that we do. Check out our sponsor down below, Raid Shadow Legends, and we appreciate you guys very much. See you next week. Bye.